Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old is gold, but these rare Lincoln wheat penny coin that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures you might just have sitting in your pocket change. Today's spotlight is on a true American classic, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance, but has the power to leave collectors speechless. Get ready to explore the mystery and value behind the elusive 1917's Lincoln wheat penny. So, what makes this old copper coin from over a century ago such a big deal? Well, it's not just about age. It's about rarity, history, condition, and a bit of numismatic magic. You might think pennies are just something to toss in a jar, but after this video, you'll never look at them the same way again. Let's start with the story behind this humble yet legendary penny. The 1917's Lincoln wheat penny was minted in San Francisco at a time when the United States was right in the middle of massive change. World War I was in full swing. Woodrow Wilson was president. And the country was shifting from the agricultural 19th century into the industrial modern age. While the world was in chaos, the U.S. Mint was quietly pressing copper coins, millions of them. But out of those millions, the ones minted in San Francisco in 1917 became something special. Now, why the S mint mark, and why does it matter? That tiny S beneath the date on the front of the coin means it was minted in San Francisco, as opposed to Philadelphia or Denver. In 1917, San Francisco produced far fewer pennies than the other mints. And here's the catch: while a large number were made, very few of them have survived in high-quality condition. Most were heavily circulated, scratched, worn down, and eventually lost to time. So if you're lucky enough to come across one that still has sharp details and minimal wear, you could be holding a small fortune. Let's talk about the design for a moment. On the front, you've got the classic image of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has stood the test of time and is still used on modern pennies today. But on the reverse? That's where things get nostalgic. The reverse side features the original wheat stalks flanking the words 1 cent and United States of America. It's bold, simple, and elegant, a design that's become a favorite among collectors. This iconic wheat back was used from 1909 to 1958, and today, coins from this era are known simply as wheat pennies. But the 1917's isn't just any wheat penny. It's one of the rarest of the early years. And while many 1917's pennies can still be found in circulated condition, finding one in a near-perfect state? That's the real challenge. High-grade examples, those with strong luster, crisp details, and minimal signs of wear, are incredibly scarce. In fact, many collectors have searched for years just to add a high-grade 1917's to their collection. Now here's where things get really exciting. Some of the rarest and most valuable coins aren't just those that are old, they're the ones with unique quirks or minting errors. And yes, there are examples of the 1917's Lincoln wheat penny with small die variations or strike issues that make them even more collectible. Combine that with the natural rarity of high-quality San Francisco mint coins from this year, and you've got a true numismatic prize. People often ask, how can I tell if my 1917's penny is valuable? Well, it all comes down to condition. If your coin is heavily worn, has scratches, or has been cleaned, its value may be modest. But if it's in excellent shape, what collectors call uncirculated or even mint state, you might be sitting on a gold mine. In fact, coins that have been professionally graded and preserved in their original condition are the ones that command the biggest price tags. Over the years, collectors and investors alike have driven up demand for this coin. And in today's market, rare U.S. coins, especially those with historic value and visual appeal, are more sought after than ever. This makes the 1917's wheat penny not just a piece of history, but a genuine investment opportunity for those lucky enough to own one. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Just how much can a 1917's Lincoln wheat penny be worth in pristine, collector-grade condition? Hold on to your seats, because this seemingly small copper coin can fetch anywhere from $50,000 to $160,000 depending on its quality and market demand. That's right. A single penny, 1 cent, could be worth more than a luxury car, or even a down payment on a house. So, before you dismiss that old change jar or toss a worn-out coin in your drawer, take a closer look. You never know what hidden treasure might be waiting right in your home. If you happen to come across a 1917 sweet penny in good condition, it's worth getting it appraised by a professional. Thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this journey into coin collecting and rare finds, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell so you never miss an episode. We've got more incredible coin stories, hidden values, and rare finds coming your way. Until next time, keep hunting, and happy collecting. Top 2. We're diving into the story of a coin that might look like just another old penny, but has a hidden history, a powerful legacy, and if you're lucky, a jaw-dropping value. Yes, we're talking about the mysterious and incredibly rare 1936 Lincoln wheat penny. You've probably seen thousands of pennies in your life. Maybe they roll around in your car's cup holder or fill up that giant jar on your kitchen counter. But what if I told you that one of those tiny coins, one that says 1936 on the front, could be worth a small fortune today? Let's rewind the clock to 1936. America was climbing out of the Great Depression. Franklin D. Roosevelt was president. People were trying to rebuild their lives, and every single penny truly mattered. In those days, coins weren't just spare change, they bought groceries, they paid bus fares, and they helped feed families. The Lincoln wheat penny had already been in circulation for almost 3 decades by then, having first debuted in 1909 as a tribute to Abraham Lincoln on his 100th birthday. And by 1936, it had become a symbol of hope, resilience, and American spirit. Now, on the surface, the 1936 wheat penny might not look like much. It's made of humble bronze, mostly copper with a touch of tin and zinc. The front, or obverse, features that familiar portrait of Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner, a name now etched in numismatic history. The back, or reverse, showcases 2 stylized wheat stalks curving upward to frame the bold words 1 cent and United States of America. Beneath that lies a Latin motto, E pluribus unum, a reminder that out of many, we are one. But what makes the 1936 penny special? Why are collectors across the country, and even the world, constantly chasing after this particular year? Well, there's a little twist to the 1936 Lincoln penny story. You see, most people don't know that there were actually 3 different types of 1936 wheat pennies minted that year, one from Philadelphia with no mint mark, one from Denver with a small D under the date, and one from San Francisco marked with an S. But even among those, there's a very rare variety that turns this coin into a collector's dream, and that's the 1936 doubled die obverse. For those of you new to coin collecting, let's break that down. A doubled die occurs during the minting process, when the die that stamps the coin is misaligned or impresses the design twice. The result? Letters and numbers on the coin look slightly doubled. It's a minting error, but it's the kind of error collectors go crazy for. The 1936 doubled die Lincoln penny is one of the earliest and most well-known examples of this error, and it's incredibly rare. Most of these coins went unnoticed at first. People used them, spent them, lost them. Only years later did numismatists begin to identify and document them. Today, finding one in good condition is like striking gold. Even a normal 1936 wheat penny in great shape can have some value to collectors. But if you happen to own one with that double die feature, and it's in excellent, crisp, uncirculated condition, then you might just have a serious treasure in your hands. So how do you know if your 1936 penny is the rare one? Start by checking the date closely. Look for doubling in the numbers, especially the 9 and the 6. The letters in the word liberty and the phrase, "In God we trust," might also appear slightly blurred or doubled. And don't forget to check the overall condition. Is it worn down or still sharp and shiny? Even tiny details can make a huge difference when it comes to value. Coin collectors around the world keep a close eye on the rarest versions of the 1936 Lincoln penny, especially those that have been officially graded by trusted services like PCGS or NGC. These coins are examined under magnification, given a grade based on their condition, and often stored in protective cases to keep them safe from damage. The highest graded examples are few and far between, and they are worth a fortune. And here's the best part. This isn't a coin locked away in some museum or private vault. There are still examples out there in the wild, sitting in old collections, passed down in families, or hiding in drawers and forgotten piggy banks. Someone out there could be holding one right now without even realizing it. So if you have a collection of old pennies, or maybe a family heirloom box passed down from a grandparent, this might be the perfect time to go digging. Take a close look at those coins from 1936. Who knows what you might discover? And now, the moment you've been waiting for. A genuine 1936 Lincoln Wheat penny with the rare double die obverse, in exceptional condition, has been known to sell for prices ranging anywhere from $38,000 all the way up to $135,000. That's right. A single penny, one tiny coin, could be worth more than a luxury vehicle, more than a year of college tuition, or more than what many people make in an entire year. So don't overlook the little things. Because in the world of coins, even a humble penny can become a priceless treasure. Top 3. We're talking about the legendary 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny, and now, you've probably seen wheat pennies before. They're easy to recognize. Just flip one over and instead of the Lincoln Memorial, you'll see two wheat stalks curving up on either side of the words 1 cent. It's a simple design, but one that collectors absolutely love. These coins were produced from 1909 to 1958, and in that nearly 5-decade run, there were a few special issues that stand out above all the rest. One of those just happens to be the 1944-D. At first glance, this penny doesn't seem like anything extraordinary. It's copper-colored, shows Abraham Lincoln on the front, and has the usual wheat reverse. But as any experienced numismatist will tell you, the true value of a coin often lies in the details, and in this case, the details tell an incredible story. Let's rewind to the year 1944. The world was deep in the chaos of World War II. American factories were operating around the clock to support the war effort. Steel, copper, and other essential materials were being rationed. Just 1 year earlier, in 1943, the U.S. Mint made a dramatic change to the penny, switching its composition from copper to zinc-coated steel. That 1-year change resulted in those famous silver-colored steel cents that are still sought after today, but in 1944, the Mint reversed that decision and returned to using copper. However, due to ongoing material shortages and a rush to resume normal production, mistakes happened. And that's where the 1944 Lincoln penny comes into focus. Most of the 1944 pennies were made from recycled shell casings gathered from the battlefield, a clever move by the U.S. Mint. These shell case cents were struck in large numbers. But at the Denver Mint, where the D Mint mark was stamped, something unexpected occurred. A small number of coins were struck using leftover steel blanks from 1943, by mistake. Yes, you heard that right. In 1944, a handful of pennies were struck on steel planchets instead of copper. These rare error coins are known as 1944 D steel cents, and they are some of the most valuable and elusive coins ever produced by the U.S. Mint, but it doesn't stop there. Even among the copper 1944 D pennies, a perfect specimen, flawless in condition, sharp in strike, and untouched by circulation, is a thing of beauty and immense value. Remember, most of these coins were used in daily life. They were handed out as change, spent at diners, carried in pockets, and tossed into jars. So finding one in pristine condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. Now let's talk about what makes a 1944 D penny stand out. First, check the mint mark. You'll find a tiny D just below the year on the front of the coin. That tells you it was minted in Denver. Then, look at the coin's surface. Is it smooth, free from scratches, with sharp details and Lincoln's hair and coat? If so, you may be holding something very special. And if you happen to find a steel version from 1944 with a Denver Mint mark, well, congratulations. That's one of the rarest finds in all of coin collecting. Collectors around the world are always searching for these unique error coins and top-grade examples. Some even devote years to tracking down high-grade 1944 D wheat pennies. And as more collectors enter the hobby, the demand for these rare coins only continues to rise. What's even more exciting is that these coins aren't buried in some museum or locked away in a billionaire's safe. They're still out there. They've been passed down through families, stored in old coin folders, tucked away in attic boxes, or sitting quietly in change jars for decades. And every once in a while, someone stumbles across one, and their life changes forever. So how can you find out if you have one of these rare treasures? First, inspect the year and mint mark. Then, weigh it if possible. A standard copper penny from 1944 should weigh about 3.1 grams. A steel one, however, will be much lighter, closer to 2.7 grams, and will stick to a magnet. And if your coin looks unusual or shows signs of a minting error, don't hesitate to get it professionally graded. A grading company can confirm its authenticity and condition, and that's what ultimately determines its market value. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, the value. A rare and genuine 1944 D Lincoln Wheat penny, especially one struck on a steel planchet or found in exceptional mint state condition, can sell for anywhere from $25,000 to $125,000, depending on its rarity, condition, and provenance. Yes, you heard that right. That little penny, worth just 1 cent when it was made, could now be worth as much as a luxury car or a down payment on a house. So the next time you're sorting through your change or flipping through an old coin folder, don't overlook the pennies. Among them could be a hidden gem, a slice of American history, and a life-changing discovery. Thanks for joining us today. If you loved this video and want to uncover more coin stories and collector secrets, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. We've got more coin adventures and surprises coming your way. Until then, keep your eyes open, keep hunting, and happy collecting.